Do you know what this plaque means? This plaque means that I've made $1 million on Fiverr.com. And I'm gonna tell you how. Hi friends, if you're new here, my name is Katharine Quinn. I am a 30-something living in New York, working on Broadway, and I'm also a voice actor. I have been doing voiceover since 2016. The way that I began doing voiceover was on Fiverr.com. In case you are unaware, Fiverr is a freelance platform for almost any category of just about anything you could need. The original conceit of Fiverr was that you could buy anything for $5 or increments of $5. Now it is a much broader. My average selling point is over $100. I'm definitely not selling voiceovers for $5, but yeah, it's an online freelance platform, and it is what afforded me to buy the apartment in New York City that I'm currently sitting in, as well as my Airbnb upstate. So it completely changed my life. I would love to talk about my journey on Fiverr, how I got started, how I found the category that works for me, a few tips and tricks, and then sort of the state of Fiverr now in case you are interested in joining the platform or you've been on the platform and you've noticed some changes. So like I said, I started doing voiceovers on Fiverr in 2016. I got on the platform originally as a buyer in 2015. I had a fitness business called Captain Cat Fitness. I was on the platform buying logos and graphics and animations and stuff for the fitness platform that I was building. I was a personal trainer at the time. I was frantically trying to find a way to make a sustainable living as an artist. As I said, I work on Broadway. I used to be a performer. I direct and choreograph, and now I work in marketing on Broadway, which it's been really interesting how much voiceover and like reading copy all day has actually trained me so beautifully for my job in marketing. So, you know, this is 2016. This is the era of #girlboss, the side hustle, the like work like a crazy person for a few years so that you can live your digital nomad life, blah, blah, blah. There's a quick call to action in the corner while I was buying that said, it takes 5 minutes to set up a seller platform. Why not try? So I was like, you know what? I could use some extra money. So like, let's sign up. And I was going through the little tabs at the top and I was scrolling over the different categories. So I made 3 profiles because I was like, what do you have to lose? I was also a very early Canva user. So I was like, on Canva, making little graphics and things. On Fiverr, you set up things called gigs. So my first 3 gigs were doing a personal training plan virtually for clients online, doing video spokesperson work where I would put on face and do my hair, put on a different variety of outfits and memorize scripts and talk about brand products, which was like a pre-UGC sort of. The third thing was voiceover. Did I have any experience as a video spokesperson or a voice actor? Absolutely not. It's worth noting I am a professionally trained actor. I got my BFA in theater from a nice fancy theater conservatory program a decade plus ago now. But other than that, no voice acting training whatsoever. No video spokesperson, no on-camera classes, none of it. So it was just me and my phone and trying to make it work. Okay, the thing that I was most qualified to do was the personal training, which didn't take off at all. I think I did 1 fitness plan for someone, but almost immediately, I think just because there were so few people that were like pretty solid, that makes me sound like a bad person, but it's kind of true. At the time in 2016, like the marketplace was not what it is now. It's like akin to if you were an early TikToker or early YouTuber, like it just was a different landscape than it is now. I started getting work pretty quickly, and very quickly I realized the video spokesperson thing. I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta like put on your face and do your hair. Like the amount of effort was significantly higher. Voiceover was a miracle because I could do that in my pajamas. I don't recommend doing this. I started on my cell phone. I bought a Blue Yeti mic, which is also not what I would recommend using. I will put all of my recommendations for voiceover equipment in the description box down below, like my entry level or the stuff that I use, which is now thousands of dollars and very fancy, but that is not what you need to use to start. Like, it's sort of like vlogging. People will be like, you do not need to buy the world's fanciest camera. Here are the options that you can buy that are perfectly acceptable. So same goes for voiceover. It really, really matters the treatment of the space that you're in more so than the equipment that you're using, but I digress. How did I figure out what my pricing was going to be? I literally just looked at my competitors in the marketplace, saw how many words they were offering for what increments of $5. I think I started out at $15, then moved to $25, and then I set at $35 for years as my base rate. Have historically gone anywhere between having 2 voiceover gigs, so like a voicemail gig and a commercial gig, and up to 4 gigs, depending on like different categories over the years. I think I currently have 2. I just have voiceover and voice voicemail. That's it. Some different keywords thrown in there. And it's all about SEO. It's all about the algorithm. It always has been. It always will be. Let's talk about money for a second. When I first started on Fiverr, it was very part-time and it was like an exponential effect. So I will show you some of the screen grabs of what my income has looked like. Okay, so the first year that it tracked was 2017. January of 2017, I made $972, which I was thrilled with because I was working in non-union theater, and if you know, you know, that's like $300 a week. So I was already making almost as much with the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of theater that I was doing versus voiceover. So in January, I completed 30 orders. By May of 2017, I completed 104 orders that month, and I made $3,869. And then I saw another really big jump in October of 2017 to $5,374 for the month with about 150 completed gigs. So my overall sales for 2017 were $39,284. Then we get to 2018. I wish I could tell you. I think I redid my demo in June of 2018 and the algorithm favored me, and I wish it were more specific than that. It isn't. I think my thumbnail hit at the right time. I think the market was not very saturated, and I literally went from making on average $5,000 to $6,000 a month to in June of 2018 making $16,000 a month. So my total for 2018 was $157K, 2019 was $224K, 2020 was $192K, 21 was $177. Now, if you're noticing, that is now a downwards trend. 2022 was $133K, 2023 was $130K, and 2024 is going to be way less. So far this year, I've made $42,000. And it is the end of July. So we are over halfway through the year, and I don't think I'm gonna break 100K this year. So let's talk about the good and the bad. My earnings to date are $1,116,843.93, which is bananas. My average selling price is $114.95. My stats are in the 90s in terms of order completion and on-time delivery. I have completed 12,392 voiceovers, but this month I have only earned $3,152.80. Something that's crazy, there's like a map on here and it says world domination, like how many countries of the world that you have sold in. And if you look, it's like most of the world is blacked out, and I have sold to 61% of the world. Here are some tips and tricks of things that have worked incredibly well. When you find something that the algorithm is favoring, don't mess with it. Whether it is your description, your tags, look at your competitors. This, I know, sounds so basic, but look at what your competitors are not doing. For a long time, it felt like I had a very significant gap in terms of my thumbnail versus everyone else's. And then Fiverr wanted everyone to up their game. A rising tide lifts all boats. And they literally used my thumbnail as an example to be like, everyone, look, this is an example of a good thumbnail on Fiverr.com. And now every thumbnail for voiceover looks exactly like my photo. So what had been sort of my calling card, my headshot effectively on Fiverr for years, now it looks just like everybody else's. And it's like, I've tried doing something different, but then clients that I'd had for years couldn't find me as easily. It was kind of a mess, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, what a great problem to have. Something infuriating to me about Fiverr is you can't change your stupid username. So I have the dumbest username because I started as a buyer. I was not thinking about the username or any of it. I absolutely would have been like voice acting professional 101. Something SEO optimized, but no, I just have a random smattering of characters, and that is my username. So word to the wise, pick an SEO friendly username. How to pick what category you're in. For me, as I described, it was, what do I think I'm even remotely capable of? Throwing spaghetti against the wall. Again, it's worth noting, 2016 was a very, 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 very different climate on Fiverr than it is now. Honestly, pre-pandemic, like the number of humans who got into voiceover during the pandemic were like multitude. There are growing categories on Fiverr, and every time I now have a seller success manager, which is one of the great gifts of a modern age Fiverr, is that there are actually humans that I'm interacting with on the platform. Now, is it as robust and helpful as I would like for it to be? No, but like it is at least some insight into the back end of Fiverr, whereas previously I was just like throwing darts into absolute space. My seller success managers are often like, you might want to consider new categories, because let's talk about that dip. Let's talk about going from $20,000 in a month to $3,000 in a month. Now, am I grateful for all of the months? Yes. Is it worth noting, just like as a quick asterisk, this is pre-tax, okay? So we're going to have to pay all of our taxes, my friends, quarterly. We're paying like, generally estimate 33%. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not the amount of money that it looks like, okay? So $3,000 less 30%, and I also outsourced my editors now, which it was a development as of 2019, maybe. It's not a ton of money. Definitely just like fully a part-time gig now, and it was obviously more than a super solid New York City full-time job. And now that is not the case. What happened? You want to guess? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds so you can leave a comment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. AI, my friends, AI. So AI has hit Fiverr much harder than the other voiceover platforms that I'm on, than agents and manager universe. AI continues to improve in the world of voiceover. Have so many mixed feelings about it. Obviously, from a business perspective, it absolutely sucks, but I also appreciate that it's just the future. And people were really mad at me when I started in voiceover on Fiverr, being like, oh, gig economy. And now it's just kind of the way it goes for a lot of it. And it also afforded me an incredible life. It does me no good and the industry no good to be like, AI voice, it's happening. It's happened. It already happened. It's happening. The prediction was, and has proven to be true, that AI voiceover would take a lot of the lower, like Fiverr is very much a quantity game as opposed to like high profile clients that can pay you $1,500 for a gig or $20,000 for a gig or whatever it is, which could happen through an agent or a manager, and even sometimes on the other pay-to-play voice acting websites. All this goes to say, it's been a wild ride. Will I join Fiverr in other categories as my seller success managers have suggested? Honestly, I kind of doubt it. I'm so busy with all the other work that I'm doing. It was an amazing run. I'm so grateful. And my time on Fiverr isn't over. Like, I'm still on the platform. I still do voiceovers every single day on there, but I'm honestly making more money on other platforms now. Not overall, I'm not a millionaire on the other platforms, but I am making more money on other platforms each month than I have on Fiverr, or at least equivalent. I cannot believe they sent me an actual plaque. This is like the equivalent of a play button. It's very nice. Katharine Quinn, $1 million in orders, music and audio. Bonkers, cuckoo bananas, but so grateful, like truly so grateful. I now have like a voiceover booth decked out in my Manhattan apartment, really nice equipment. I do voiceover 7 days a week. I've done voiceovers in cars, in closets, mini pillow forts, on cruise ships, in hotel rooms, but it's like the gift of having been able to work remotely, and it changed my entire life. It changed my life. It also afforded me the ability to work in theater. I could not have stayed in New York City if it weren't for Fiverr and voiceover. So yeah, I am curious to know, like, what brought you to this video? Are you interested in Fiverr? Are you interested in voice acting? Like, what questions can I answer for you? Leave your comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, which presumably you did if you made it this far, if you would like, comment, subscribe. Those are things that actually do make a difference to me and my newest YouTube channel. It is the surest way to let the YouTube algorithm know we love an algorithm. What wonderful people to push this video out to, people just like you. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok @Katharine Quinn. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the comments section. Bye.